Hello there. In this video I'm going to give you a look at our Health and Safety Expert software. But first, just bear with me a minute to give you an overview of how Health and Safety Expert can be essential to your construction business. We work closely with health and safety consultants to bring you a system that will help you meet your obligations quickly and with the minimum of fuss, and to be compliant with CDM 2015 regulations. The documents that Health and Safety Expert produces are suitable for residential construction such as extensions, conversions, new builds, renovation work, and also smaller scale commercial work such as small offices or things like redeveloping existing business premises to convert them into a residential property. Remember that under CDM 2015, all work is now notifiable whether it is a domestic or a business project. Health and Safety Expert is really straightforward to use, but it will save you hours in time or significant expense with health and safety consultants to help you produce the documents that you require on site. From a few minutes of inputting key information, you can rapidly produce your company health and safety policy, pre-construction information, construction phase plan, and of course risk assessments and cost assessments. It will also create for you all your health and safety site management documents, plus there's also options in there to create your own method statements where required. Health and Safety Expert software has been put to the test by numerous HSE inspections, and the customer feedback we have is that the documentation is extremely well received by inspectors. Customers have also fed back that the Health and Safety Expert documentation helps them to win tenders and new business because of its clear and professional layout. Since October 2013, the Health and Safety Executive have operated a scheme called Fees for Intervention. Under this, they now visit far more small sites, and they will issue warnings and even prohibition notices for common things such as inadequate employee welfare facilities on site or lack of basic signage. A single letter from the HSE will cost you around £124, and a typical visit where you come up short of current CDM standards results in costs of over £500. Health and Safety Expert gives comprehensive information on all aspects of your site to ensure that you're complying with the current CDM regulations and that any visits from the HSE are painless. Remember, a fine from the HSE means that you can go onto their enforcement database, which could lose your company future contracts, not to mention the possibility of a current site being brought to a standstill by a prohibition notice. Okay, so we've covered the theory, so let's have a look at some of the documents that Health and Safety Expert can produce for you. If you already have our Estimator Express program, you could import an estimate into Health and Safety Expert, and this will fill in many of the details for you and automatically select your library of documents based on the content of your estimate. For this video, I'm going to create a Health and Safety Expert project from scratch. You'll type in a project name, and the type of project. For this example, I'm going to choose an extension. As you can see, we have a large range of project types ready-made for you to select. Choose the one that suits the job at hand. And just a quick note, you can customize these projects and you can even create your own to suit your business. So we start on the project details screen. In here we can fill in the project reference, and then we'd add in details for things like our clients. So you could fill in your customer's details, the site address, and then company details such as director, potential designer, principal contractor, and of course your local health and safety executive. Once this is done, we can move on and we can start off by looking at our company health and safety policy. This is a pre-written document that just needs you to fill in a few details and can then be printed as a reference document for your company. It is a legal requirement for any building company to have a health and safety policy in place, and for any company with 5 or more employees this must actually be printed or in writing. From a business perspective, a lot of our customers tell us that they will often supply this document to potential clients as part of their portfolio of information to help win new business. You can review and edit any section of this that you wish and fine-tune it to your company. Once you have done this, you can preview the document, or you can export it in a format of your choice, such as PDF or a Word document, which of course you can then email, or you can of course print the document to create a hard copy. Next, let's look at the pre-construction information section. This is for use if you're involved in the design element of the project, and it's where you can fill in site-specific details and highlight specific risks if required. Again, it's a case of clicking on the sections and filling in where relevant. So let's jump in and have a look at some risk assessments, as this is the core of the Health and Safety Expert software. On the screen we have a list of risk assessments that could be applicable to the type of project that we selected at the start of this job. You won't need all of these, as we tend to err on the side of caution by giving you a comprehensive picking list to make use of. This means that you simply need to run down the list and select the risk assessments that are relevant to your specific project. If in doubt, then print a risk assessment out. You cannot go wrong by having additional information just in case. So let's have a look at the excavations risk assessment. I'm going to select this and preview it. As you can see, we have the hazard, the risks involved in the task. We then have a pre-control exposure rating from 1 to 7 and a pre-control severity rating again from 1 to 7. We then have the control measures, which are the actions you're going to take to make this task safe, and then we have the post-control exposure and severity. Remember that it's the exposure that you're looking to reduce. Often the use of control measures does mean that accidents that occur will be far less severe, but there are of course certain things that can happen on site that will still cause a fatality, such as being run over by a JCB, for example. The job of a risk assessment is to minimise the possibility of such things happening by following the measures that we can see on screen here. These are real-world risk assessments developed by construction health and safety consultants, and they are widely used across the UK. Once you've decided which documents you require, you can either print or export these documents in the format of your choice. Okay, so next we're going to look at the cost assessments. Again, these are chosen according to the type of project, and you can then pick the ones that you need specific to the job. Let's have a look at the Portland cement cosh. This is a fairly common product used on most construction sites. Just as with the risk assessments, you can preview, and you can then print or export to the format of your choice. You'll notice we have cost assessments for things that you can not buy, such as brick dust, mineral fibres, pigeon droppings, substances that are common to sites but you cannot download a material data sheet for. Before we move on, just to let you know that you can edit the risk assessments and the cosh, and you can also use Health and Safety Expert to create your own. There are two other major components of your site health and safety documentation. The first one, which is required by law on every construction project, no matter how small, is a construction phase plan. This is a mixture of pre-written sections where we have done the work for you and other sections which are site specific and would require for you to fill in the details. Again, once you have completed this, you can preview and you can export or print out in the format that you require. The final part of your documentation is the on-site management documents. This is an array of checklists, registers and briefs, the full range of documentation that you need to ensure the safe running of your site, and also to cover yourself, which of course is important in the modern day. For example, the PPA register is a written evidence of supply of correct safety equipment to your site staff, which can then protect you against future litigation by a disgruntled employee, for example. And the last part, which is going to have a quick look at, is a method statement wizard. This allows you to create your own method statements from scratch, and what we have done is simplified this by breaking it down into small sections, and you simply click on each section and fill out the information required, which you can then save. Thank you very much for watching. Please do contact us if you'd like to arrange a demonstration or a trial of the Health and Safety Expert software.